From the heart of the Oval Office, a historic shift began to unfold. Not in whispered diplomacy or confidential memos, but in front of cameras, with leaders, journalists, and the weight of a continent watching. The atmosphere was electric as Caroline, now a household name among political correspondents, introduced a colleague, Haryana, a reporter who had just returned from the war-torn streets of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Her voice trembled with urgency and pride as she addressed not only the American president, but the world. Mr. President, they know your name in Congo. They say it with hope. Haryana had walked the dusty roads of the Congo, speaking with youth, leaders, and survivors who believed, for the first time in decades, that peace was possible. Not because of tradition or treaties, but because someone in Washington had finally paid attention. Her words were raw, unfiltered. For years, the White House turned its back. Presidents came and went. People died. No one cared. But now, things are changing. Even President Félix Tshisekedi of the DRC, long disillusioned with foreign promises, was so moved by the unfolding peace efforts that he floated the unthinkable, nominating a U.S. president for the Nobel Peace Prize, not out of diplomacy, but out of desperation, finally answered. The president, controversial, polarizing, yet unmistakably commanding, embraced the moment. He complimented Haryana in a moment that sparked raised eyebrows, calling her beautiful inside and out, before cautioning himself. I'm not supposed to say that anymore, but I did. But this wasn't just a photo op. The Oval Office became the epicenter of a long overdue reckoning with history, with neglect, and with the deep scars of Central Africa. 30 years, over 6 million dead, entire generations lost. The war between the DRC and Rwanda had become one of the deadliest conflicts since World War II, a complex web of regional rivalries, foreign exploitation, and unspeakable human suffering. Yet somehow, the world looked away. That era, the president declared, was over. With Secretary Marco Rubio and Senior Africa Advisor Masad Balos flanking him, he announced what no other administration had achieved: the signing of a final peace agreement between Congo and Rwanda. This wasn't some vague diplomatic gesture. It was official, signed, sealed, and witnessed in the White House itself. The deal, later dubbed the Washington Accord, wasn't just a ceasefire. It was the first real attempt to intertwine peace with prosperity, war with trade, diplomacy with minerals, and behind it, a controversial engine: the president himself. We do peace better than anyone, but we can do war too. He spoke with unshakable confidence. The world, he reminded the press, had seen his administration secure peace between Israel and Iran, India and Pakistan, Serbia and Kosovo. Now the Great Lakes region of Africa had joined the list. But there was a warning too. If you don't follow this agreement, bad things happen. His tone shifted. This wasn't just hope, it was leverage. We can do war better than anyone, but we don't want to. A subtle threat or a guarantee of protection? The room didn't ask. The economic play beneath the peace agreement lay another layer: money. Rare earth minerals, regional trade corridors, infrastructure partnerships. $1.5 billion had already been earmarked for power transmission projects from Angola to the DRC. American companies, drawn by opportunity, were lining up to invest, not just in extraction, but in transformation. The president smiled when told the DRC had the world's best rare earth deposits. That's how this all began, he quipped. But this wasn't just a business move. This was about recentering global influence. He wanted America in, not just militarily, but economically, diplomatically, and visibly. The foreign ministers of Rwanda and Congo echoed gratitude, but also issued a plea: don't walk away now. Too many peace deals had been signed before and collapsed days later. What made this different, they insisted, was America's continued presence. Without it, the wounds might reopen. The president nodded. He wasn't planning to leave. He handed out ceremonial coins, tokens given only to those the administration deemed serious people. Haryana received one too. The African journalist had done what few others had: pierced the White House bubble with a voice that demanded to be heard. Then came the inevitable media clash. A reporter asked if the mainstream media would finally give credit for ending the deadliest war since World War II. The president scoffed. They never will, but the people do. That's why I'm here. The media didn't elect me. The people did, in a landslide. The tension simmered, controversy bubbling beneath every sentence. Another reporter brought up the border, 0 crossings, a record-low murder rate, and the administration's efforts to clean up the immigration system. Again, the president pivoted with fire. We got rid of 11,888 murderers who came through Biden's border. They're back where they belong. Plains, Gaza, and the bigger game. And as if that weren't enough, the president casually shifted topics to aviation infrastructure, slamming former officials for letting modernization fall apart. Then in the same breath, he addressed Gaza, announcing that a ceasefire might be imminent, with humanitarian aid flowing, some of it stolen by bad people, but much of it delivered under U.S. oversight. The Oval Office had become a stage, and the performance wasn't subtle. This is bigger than trade, bigger than politics. This is about saving lives. The peace deal, he insisted, was the most important event of the day, more important than even a Supreme Court victory announced earlier that morning. Because for once, America hadn't just flexed its might, it had bent history towards something far rarer: peace.